Welcome, everyone, to the Talking Kentucky post-game show. My name is Coleman Scott, and I'm joined today by Brad Harvey, as always, but we got a little bit more college sportscast on the show today, as John Hammonds is joining us for the first game of the season. We're 1-0 when John Hammonds is joining us on the post-game show. So, John, glad you're with us today, man. How you doing?
Why?
I appreciate it, man.
Brad's like, why is John on? The show was fine without John. Where we had?
I can't get away from the guy. He follows me everywhere.
Hey, man, I understand, but we're here to talk about the Cats as Kentucky beats Ohio 41-6. Good teams win. Great teams cover. It was 19.5. We were talking last night, Brad. I was on your show. We were talking on if the Cats would cover the spread. We all thought that they needed to cover the spread against this Ohio team. We needed to have Brad, as you said last week.
I want to say right off the start,
game.
Coleman.
Yeah, go for it.
Right off the start, last week when we were closing the show out, right here on the Talkin Kentucky College Sportscast postgame show, I said to you guys, it needs to be a get-right game. We need plus 40 in points on offense. I'm talking about the offense. And I said that they needed to cover the spread, whatever the spread would be, and that kind of stuff. And I didn't listen. I worked today. I barely got to follow the game, but they did what I set out for them to do to start with. Let's just get that out of the way. They took care of business. They win 41. They win 41-6. Overall, I think it was a nice showing.
And we said last week they need to break 40, right? We sort of were all thinking that that's the number. They need to get to 40.
I've said it all week long.
And they did. And we did. Yep. We got in the 40s. It was a big win. It was definitely a get right game for the offense, as we talked about last week. But so Brad's kind of giving his takeaway. I'll go ahead and do mine. And I think you're exactly right, Brad. We just needed to see the offense take another step forward today. And, we know the defense is good.
Dankey apparently looked pretty good.
He did, and I got
highlights here.
We're gonna have some highlights, so you'll see exactly how he looked. But we know the defense is good. We know the defense is stout. We needed to see, especially going into Oxford next week, we needed to see this offense take a step forward, and we certainly did today. So I think you feel about as good as you can feel at this point going into the Ole Miss game. John, what do you think?
I'll just kind of reiterate what you all said. There was just a couple things that kind of, I pointed out to Coleman before we come on, was the pass protection was still one of their shortcomings. Ohio had a depleted front line, and they was getting after Vanderdrift. And some of that is due to the fact that the line play has not been real great. Vanderdrift sometimes is where he's not been able to start, where he was at Georgia as a backup. A lot of that has to do with inexperience, I think, too. But the pass protection has got to get better, especially going up against Ole Miss next week, because Ole Miss has got a good front four. And you let a team that's depleted like Ohio run over you and chase you out of the pocket, what's Ole Miss going to do? You can't continue to let that happen.
Part of that, John, I think, and I didn't see this game, but part of that is every team we play, they know that we struggle a little bit on the offensive line in pass protection, and every team we play brings the house. They don't just rush 4 people or 3 or 4 people. Almost, second and third down, they're bringing 6, at least 5, 6 guys almost every time. And it's hard for them. Our backs don't pick up the blocks as easy. And I think a lot of it is just being outnumbered.
Well, and to your point, that would help with bringing a tight end in, bringing a couple running backs over to help with the blocking. But we've seen that.
Absolutely.
We've seen that with Georgia some, and they still had a hard time. I think part of the reason is we got some guys banged up on the offensive line too. Jagger Burton has been banged up. There's been a few guys banged up.
Was he still out today? Did Jagger play, or was he out?
No, he was out today.
He was out today.
Okay.
Yeah, he was out. But, I'll say this about the running back blocking. DSK had a great game today, and DSK gets some good blocks. Man, I don't know if you saw against Georgia. He laid some people out, man.
He
he's
does.
doing his
he
job.
does.
Yeah.
I thought in the highlights, I thought Jamarian Wilcox looked pretty good today. Now, I didn't watch the entire game, but I'm pretty impressed. He is a guy I brought up right here, and I brought up on our show a few times. He was a highly sought after running back that we picked up very late. He flipped to us, actually, red-shirted last year, and I am really glad to see that he is getting an opportunity. And, I mean, I didn't see the final stats, but, I mean, he had 80-some yards, and he only had like 8 or 10 carries. I mean, that's not bad.
One of my big takeaways from today is I think Wilcox needs to get more snaps. I mean, Brad obviously thinks that. What do you think, John? You think Wilcox needs to get some more touches?
I think he needs to get some more touches. But my player of the game today, do we do player of the games much?
Well, yeah, let's do it. We haven't done it this year, but let's go ahead. Yeah.
My player of the game was Kentcky. He made some big catches. He had that little hurdle. He caught that pass where Vandergriff was.
That wasn't a little hurdle.
That was a big hurdle. Yeah. And then there was another play where Vandergriff threw it kind of from his back, and Kentcky went up and got it on a 3rd and 13. I thought that was huge. That ended up, I think, in a scoring drive. So Kentcky had a really good game. I thought Barry and Brown played pretty good. He had that 23-yard touchdown run. Maxwell Harrison played good on defense. Speaking of the defense, we'll get to them soon, but they've impressed me beyond. I thought this was going to be their key problem in the secondary, but they've answered the bell.
I've been saying all offseason the defense is what was going to carry this team. All offseason.
Well, I said that too, but I also thought too, though, Coleman, the secondary had some question marks. Beyond Maxwell Harrison, there were some guys back there that kind of struggled last year. Jordan Lovett had some issues last year, but they've kind of answered the bell. This Ohio team scored 22 on Syracuse, and Kentucky held them to 6 points. I'm not saying Kentucky's on the same page as that, but in Michigan.
Okay. Jonathan Garrison, I'm here to tell you, on my show last night, I told USC I was sticking my neck out.
It's over.
And covering them on this spread. It's over. The rest of the year, y'all are done. I'm not picking you the rest of the season. I said it on my show. Y'all are finished. You can't go in and have all the hype and be a 4.5-point favorite in the big house. You got to show up, Lincoln Riley. Come on, man. That's all I got to say.
They actually played better second half. The first half was kind of they didn't look that great, but they showed up in the second half. Michigan just made better plays.
Nada, no more. Look at the Utes. Look what the Utes are doing today. Come on, man.
Taking care of business.
You're muted. Or your mic's not working.
My bad. I'm here. I'm here. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get into some highlights here. We started off with a field goal. Kroger Field didn't like that field goal very much. It was a 4th and short. Everybody wanted Stoops to go ahead and go for it there, but we got on the board first. No complaints there. But on our next drive, DSK got in the end zone for his first touchdown of the day.
Sumo Carnby in for the touchdown, and the streak is over. Gimme Sumo Carnby with the touchdown, and the Cats lead it 9-0.
And Mark Stoops can just breathe.
You know, that was
we finally got in the end zone.
That was an important one because we hadn't scored a touchdown since August, right? So we needed to get it in the end zone. Need to get the monkey off our back.
That was the second quarter, so it had only been like, I don't know, 9 or 10 quarters or something. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Then on the other end, looked like Ohio was going to punch it in there, but J.J. Weaver gets a fumble recovery. Something else that it seems like there's been 7, 8, 9 fumbles that we haven't gotten.
There had been.
Right?
There hadn't been. Yeah, there had been actually this year. So yes, it was good to see a recovery.
There's been a lot of fumbles that Kentucky just hasn't been able to recover, including one in this game before this, but that got overturned on the review, which is another. Guys, we haven't gotten a review to bounce our way yet either. I feel like that needs to shift at some point as well. But in any case, J.J. Weaver gets the recovery here.
Stops. Loose football. Picked up by Kentucky. Lost by Kentucky. Who's got it? Wildcats say they have it, and they do. A disaster for Ohio. J.J. Weaver comes up with the football for Kentucky.
Looked like
big play for the Cats there. I mean, they were inside the 5 when that play happened. Was driving. It was in the second quarter. It was a 10-0 game. If they get in the end zone there, it's a 10-7 game. Midway through the second quarter, so it kind of changes the outcome of the game right there. It was a big play, and a big time recovery by J.J. Weaver, one of the long tenured players here at Kentucky and from Louisville. Great young man.
Tanner Hayden says, "Start Wimsatt." We'll get into that debate here in a little bit, Tanner.
Yeah, I'm not into that one, but we'll get into that debate here in a little bit. But it looked like it was going to be a scoop and score there for a second for JJ. But in any case, it looked like he tried to scoop and score.
Yeah, which he booted it, and then should have done. I don't think he just fall.
Yeah, he tried to scoop and score. Yeah.
Just fall on it. But then it was as we've already mentioned, Dane Key had a big game. Brock Vandegrift threw it over the middle to Dane Key. We needed to see this kind of downfield passing from Brock Vandegrift. We've been waiting.
Nice play, moving the pocket. Vandegrift put it on he ripped it, put it on the dime in stride. It was a very nice play. So go ahead and play it, but it's a very nice play.
Brock to Dane Key. Yep.
Ohio rushing 3, dropping 8. Vandegrift flushed out of the pocket, airs it up, has Key, makes the catch at midfield, and then some. He's down to the 40-yard line.
Hey, guys, that's the kind of play that I think we need to see from Brock Vandegrift.
That was the play I was talking about, where he was kind of floating back, and he just he threw it on a dime, and Dane Key went up and got it. And I thought that was a really good play there to get them into scoring position, to get them some points for that.
My thing is
buying some time, moving the pocket, and still delivering, passes on the move. It's not easy, and it takes a very good quarterback to do that. And I like to know that we have a guy that is capable of making those kind of plays.
Yeah, my thing, not to bring any negativity to this, but why didn't we take some shots like that against Georgia? I mean, I know it's Georgia, but you at least got to take a couple shots downfield, right, Brad? We were talking about that last week on our post-game show.
I think the difference in that, and I say this to when we play teams like Ohio, and then you look at the talent level is completely different in the back end. You could probably get away with that with Ohio, but you do that maybe against Georgia, which you can hit a couple plays, but you try to do a play like that against Georgia, it might get picked off. That throw.
That's true. And the pressure, right? I mean, part of it's the pass protection, I think, too. to be fair.
That's what I was mentioning earlier, the press protection.
Yeah, I'm not sure you want to throw it into coverage like that on that particular play against Georgia. Like there was 3 guys right around there. Yes, I know that Dane Key high pointed it really well and made the catch on this play. But when you're playing the type of caliber opponent as Georgia and their defensive backs, I'm not sure in that type of a coverage that you want to make that kind of play in the middle of the field.
Later on that possession, though, DSK got into the end zone for his 2nd touchdown of the day.
Kentucky trying to get into the end zone again, and they do so. Demi Sumo Karnbang with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
Well, I know a lot of fans a week ago were hoping that they would have gone for it on that 4th down against Georgia.
Before the season started, we were sort of worried about the running back room, right? But now, like it seems like we're okay with Wilcox and DSK, and then whenever he comes back, Chip train him.
And you got Peterson, that's in there too. I mean, I think the running back room looks pretty legit. I mean, you got a true freshman, a redshirt freshman, and then you got the 2. DSK was a very nice transfer pickup last year from NC State, and in a 2nd year is really showing his talent. So it's good to see.
And this is the real highlight of the day here. Dane Key hurdling over 2 Ohio defenders, almost got into the end zone.
And again, they moved the pocket. Very nice play. Threw it on a dime on the run. And Dane made an excellent play, and it's a shame he didn't get in the end zone here because he made an awesome play.
Empty set for the Cats. Vandergriff rolling right, has time, throws, pass caught to the 10. Dane Key hurdles a defender inside the 5. They'll run him out of bounds at the 2. A 36-yard pickup.
Cindy McLaughlin here, guys. I mean, come on.
He's doing his best Cindy McLaughlin impersonation there. Do you think that this is Dane's, best game that he's played at Kentucky? I mean, he had a great one against Florida and against Ole Miss his freshman year.
He did. He did. He's had some good games. It's good to see him get on track. I think he had like 146 yards today or something like that. So a very, very nice game and very close to getting in the end zone there.
He was. And, we're all sort of, tired of the field goals, especially after last week, but we can't take it for granted, right? Alex Rayner.
Hey, I will say this, man, the dude is a legit field goal kicker. I mean, he's money. The dude is money.
He is.
From 55 yards in.
He broke the school record for most consecutive field goals hit today, 12 in a row. With this kick, he broke Austin McGinnis's record.
He's trusting what the coaching staff is calling. He's trusting his receivers. He's letting it go, and those receptions are going to start to drop here soon.
So from 34 yards away, Alex Rayner trying to set a school record for consecutive field goals made, and he just did it. 12 in a row going back to last year. A new UK record for Mr. Rayner.
And I even said last week, with the 55-yarder, and then he had another one. This guy's
one, I think.
This guy's going to be somebody in the NFL is going to pick him up. He's going to be somebody's going to find him late in the draft, and they're going to take a chance on this guy.
He's over like 92% for his career at Kentucky.
Well, he's not even like it's right through the middle of the uprights every single time, even if it's like from 50 plus. He's just bam, like it's not even close to missing.
Well, and I think too,
I know.
We finally found a field goal kicker. Used to, I I'd be breathing heavy every time we'd line up for a kick.
Yeah.
Because, it would either get blocked or –
and the real thing is, guys, is we've got a freshman that's come in, Jacob Callaway. I'm not sure how he pronounces his name, but we got a freshman kicker that on video has kicked 75 yarders. I don't know if y'all heard me, but 75 yarders.
That is insane.
So the kicking on this team is amazing. And sometimes you have to slow your roll a little bit and appreciate something really good when you have it. It's always good to have a kicker that you can count on when it's needed. Now, I will agree with the fans that we need to get in the end zone a little more, but it's always good to have a kicker that you can count on.
Yeah, that's very true, and that's going to be a secret weapon going down. I mean, that's going to make it the difference in a game. And I don't know if y'all noticed, but we switched up punters today too. I forget the kid's name, but it's not Wilson Berry anymore. It's the other kid from Australia
or something like that.
Laros, something
He's
like that. Yeah.
Kid.
Yeah. So I mean, his first punt,
and he boomed a 58-yarder in the first half.
Yeah, it was 58 yards. I was going to say his first punt.
Yeah.
The ability to flip the field is huge.
By the way, Brad, you was talking high on Memphis. They got beat by Navy today. So just want to do that.
Yeah. I saw. But you know what that tells me? FSU sucks.
Yes, they do. But
they
we
put up
knew
12 and gave up 56 or something to Navy. Come on now.
Yes, no, we knew that already. But hey, did Auburn lose, John? Is
they lost.
Okay? Well, Brad, you told us we could give it to you if Auburn lost. So here we are.
What the hell's going on at Auburn's what I want to know.
Hey,
so he's getting all these players and the recruits and stuff, and then they go out and lay these eggs at home.
Hey, Coleman.
That never happens at all to Auburn.
Hey, Coleman, it's only fair now that he lets me host the show this week.
Yep, I think so.
He put me in my place last night.
Yep.
So now this week I get to host the show because he apparently said I was wrong.
We're going to have to come up with something else. I told you that I would come on the show, and I will, because I told everybody that I would. So
I told people, and I'm not disregarding you, Brad, but
I'm still not impressed by Arkansas.
I'm not either, but
Arkansas is not good.
Auburn cannot throw the football. I told people this all year. They have a problem throwing the ball down the field, and it cost them again today.
Hey, we've already talked about the defense, and we had Maxwell Harrison pick 6. Right, they took it off the board last week, but this one counted. We're going to roll this clip here.
Nick Polis, your quarterback, got to start today. That one is picked off. That'll be a touchdown, Kentucky. Maxwell Hairston, his first interception of the year. That is his 3rd pick 6 of his career. Woo!
That's wrong. That's his 4th pick 6 of his career, by the way.
Oh, there you go. Brad didn't even watch the game, and he's calling out the stats.
He had 3 last year in one season, so that would be his 4th at least. Okay,
4th.
So that commentary was wrong.
We're going to need something like that. We're going to need the defense, especially against Ole Miss. We're going to need them probably to score a defensive touchdown or close to it.
Well,
say that was a very nice zone read. So he was in a zone read right there. There was a guy behind him and a guy in front of him, and he read the quarterback and read the quarterback's eyes. And that was a very nice jump and a zone read there by Harrison.
What's really impressive for me, though, is, while the offense, Kentucky, is trying to, figure things out, for me, it's great to have a defense that's really consistent to rely on week in and week out. And I say this too, they're probably one of the top units in the country. And starting this week, they're going to go up against maybe the best offense it'll face all year in Ole Miss.
Yep.
Ole Miss can score. Like they can put in the end zone, and we'll find out Saturday where they stand.
Wait a second. I
They
thought the best offense in the country was Tennessee, John.
Well, they're both good.
They're both good. Tanner Hayden, I want to bring this.
Wait. I thought they were the best offense.
I want to bring up this comment here. It's like Tanner Hayden says, anyone besides me agree that Zion Childress has been our best pickup in the transfer portal era here. I absolutely think so. On the defensive side of the ball, anyway, I think so.
Texas State alone.
Yeah, I mean he's killing, especially against Georgia, man.
Defense, maybe. I mean, Wandale Robinson, Will Levis. They weren't bad.
I know, but like, dude, he's been blowing it up lately. So, but definitely on the defensive side of the ball, I think we can all agree. Clyde says Tennessee winning. Welcome to the SEC, Oklahoma. Jonathan says Tennessee versus Oklahoma kicking off. Who y'all like? I mean, if you watched our show last night, all three of us love Tennessee. I think so. Yeah, I'd say I got Tennessee big.
Wait a second.
Did you take Oklahoma?
All three picked Tennessee. I'm not sure that there was any love there. That's all.
Oh, no, we don't.
Say, okay,
we don't love Tennessee. Definitely, no. Never. We'll never love.
Wait
Tennessee.
a second. That's no. Now, I can't go there.
I know we don't love Brad, especially you and I don't love the jet sweeps, but one finally worked today with Barry and Brown. So we got
against the MAC school.
Well, it's okay. It still worked.
Have I said that it just is not going to work against SEC talent?
It won't work. It won't work against SEC talent, but I feel like we can enjoy a Barry and Brown jet sweep here. So I wanted to roll this one.
7-1 for 145 for Dane Key. Little end around. This one looks like it's going to be a touchdown for Barry and Brown. 23-yard scamper for Barry and Brown.
Him doing the John Wall, I thought that was pretty.
Peep the John Wall at the end, right? Bringing that back. That was my favorite part of the day. Yeah, I love that.
I love getting around more, Jonathan. I see you say that on the comments over there. Absolutely, they need to find ways to get Barry on Brown the ball. They need to find ways to get him the ball in the open field as much as possible. I'm going to guess that's why they're doing quite so many jet sweeps, is hoping that he can make a move and get free and get open, because if he can, there's nobody on the field that's going to catch him.
We got some breaking news here from Clyde here. Vandy's about to go on a game-winning drive against the number 7 team in the country. Looks like Vanderbilt might pull off the upset against Missouri. Brad, John, does that surprise you?
No, not at all.
It doesn't surprise John.
Especially how Missouri.
I tell you, I mean, I said it last night. I went with the flow, and I did pick Missouri to cover, and this was a 19.5-point spread. But I mentioned and asked questions, could Vandy make a showing here? Because they have been known to do that at least once or twice a year. Yeah, they show up in the SEC and play a tough game or get a win. They do it against they beat Kentucky once or twice in the last 8 or 10 years. They beat Tennessee like 5 times in the last 6 or 10 years, something like that. A lot. They beat Tennessee a lot. So this isn't out of the ordinary. Tennessee, Vandy does step up and usually win a game or two that you think, wow, they shouldn't be doing that.
Let's get to our last couple highlights of the day here. This is where the debate might start. Gavin Wimsatt came in for a drive or two at the end of the game. And Brad, he looked good. He threw some dimes. He put it right in the pocket, especially this one.
I'm just not a prisoner of the moment. That's all I'm going to say, Coleman.
Well, it remains to be seen. But he threw this one over to, I think it was Anthony Brown Stevens. So here we go.
Wimsatt throws. Oh, what an arm. Talk about spinning the football. Anthony Brown-Stevens makes the...
You can't throw a better ball than that, Brad. I don't think.
He had 2 years at Rutgers and was 52%. I mean, that's all I'm going to say. I mean, listen, it was a good throw. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and act like it wasn't a good throw, but if you want to get into this debate, here's what I want to tell you guys as Kentucky fans. It's been nearly 30 years, 28, something like that, since Kentucky had a 5-star talented quarterback in the fold and running the show since Tim Couch. Okay. It's been that long. You cannot, and these fans, you've got to realize what you're saying. You cannot abandon, you can't bring in the kind of talent. If you ever want to get somebody back in with that kind of talent, you can't abandon and give up on the guy 4 games into the season. That's insane. No. That's nonsense. It shouldn't even be talked about, if you ask me. I realize that Gavin is probably gonna play, but I'm telling you, there's no and, if, or buts about it. If you want that kind of talent to come to Kentucky, it's been nearly 30 years. If you want that kind of talent, you absolutely cannot, under no circumstance, abandon that for 4 games.
And
after 4
realistically, I don't think that he'll start, but I do think we should work him into the rotation more and not just on runs. Today, most of the time when he came in for a possession or two, he would just, or a snap or two, he would just run it. It would just be like RPOs.
We need to see him. It wouldn't surprise me if they wouldn't have a Wildcat package for him where he does come in and run mostly and maybe throw a few passes a game. But a Wildcat package with him, I could see that.
The thing that really bothers me, though, is the way Brock stands like a statue in the pocket and won't throw the ball. He just – and with Gavin, you don't get that.
Realistically, with this O-line, with how quickly the pocket collapses, I mean, I almost think you need a guy like Gavin back there to be able to be elusive and be able to
if that's what you do, then you're going to have to – you're just going to have to abandon the thought that you're ever going to get a 4 or 5-star pro passer, drop back passer. If you're bringing in the kind of talent of Brock Vandagriff and you're going to abandon it that quickly, you're completely annihilating any recruiting of that nature in the future.
Yeah, but we're going to say something else.
Where's his talent at, though? I haven't seen it all year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true. We haven't really. I mean, it looked to me
4 games in.
I know.
Gavin Wimsatt has been a starter for 2 years.
I get that.
Not here. But Gavin Wimsatt has 2 years experience on the field. Big Ten.
I get that, but if you keep struggling, what do you do? You just leave him out there to get drilled, and I mean,
you've got to give him some time to get acclimated to the speed, everything.
Well, and I'll point out too,
you can't abandon the guy 4 games in. I mean, that's just that simple. I mean, there's no way. I mean, the talk of that just needs to stop now. Unless you're okay with us just abandoning the thought of any pro passer, drop back passer, 4 or 5-star kids ever coming.
I think that like that option play on that 4th and 1 where we went for it, like Brock just like dropped the ball. I feel like there's so many times like that, and then he puts the ball on the ground a lot. He's throwing some picks. I don't know.
What I see with Brock, I think he actually passes the ball better when you move the pocket with him a little bit.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
I think he's a much better passer when you move the pocket a little bit. or instead of just dropping back and him looking and going through his reads and stuff. I think he's a much better passer if you get him on the move just a little.
Yeah, what if you bring in Gavin for a play? Everybody thinks it's a run, but you drop back Gavin to, on a play action pass, throw a go route to Berrien Brown or something. I mean, you can really keep a defense on its toes if you rotate Gavin and use him as a weapon.
The problem I have with Vandergriff, and I've said it all year, he holds the ball too long. He don't throw it when he sees a guy. He just stands there and holds the ball.
That is something that's learned with the speed of the game and experience, John. Plain and simple, but any quarterback will tell you that.
But you can't keep doing that against SEC competition because
any quarterback will tell you that is something that is learned with experience and the speed of the game. Every step of the way, whether it's middle school going to high school, whether it's high school going to college, whether it's college going to SEC. I mean, every step of the way, that is something that is learned with the speed of the game.
Rachel, I love you to death. She says he does not have time. Well, that's on the offensive line for not recruiting the type of players that we need to get. Offensive line's been a problem for the last 3-4 years. Where are we not recruiting at the offensive line to get guys in there to block and do the things like John Swarman? Ever since John Swarman passed away, I love John Swarman.
Oh yeah,
it's not been the same. It's been you've recycled coaches in and out. There's no stability at the offensive line. And to me, that's an issue.
Let's go ahead and play the last highlight of the day here. This is Gavin Wimsatt rushing in for a touchdown. Another weapon is obviously his legs. So let's roll this.
Well, definitely showcasing that he needs more of that going forward this season.
Wimsatt trying to reach pay dirt, and he does so. 2-yard touchdown run for Gavin Wimsatt. Good drive for number 2.
And it just wasn't running the football.
Oops. We still playing here? Playing twice?
Yeah.
That's okay. We good now? Okay. We
blink
got it.
twice if you can hear me.
Yeah, right. Yeah. There we go. Okay.
I'm here, buddy. I'm here.
Blink twice if you can hear me.
Well, in any case, that capped it off and got Kentucky to the 41 points. And so let's talk about next week at Ole Miss and let's kind of go around. Brad, I'll let you go first. Realistically, what do you think going into next week? Do you think we have a chance? So you're telling me there's a chance?
Well, I think there is a chance. Yes, Coleman. I mean, the answer to that is yes. I don't know how much of a chance, but I do think we have a chance anytime that you can hold Georgia to 13 points. You have a pretty good defense. Now, the game next week, I know that every Kentucky fan in the world just about is going to want to see Kentucky go in there and air it out and put up points versus Ole Miss.
We can't out Ole Miss.
And the score be 48-45 and Kentucky pulls out the last second win and all that. I know every Kentucky fan will want to see that. But I'm going to give you a cold, hard fact truth here, okay? Kentucky will never, ever compete against Ole Miss next week. I'm not talking about ever, but next week we will not compete with Ole Miss if we try to air this game out.
No.
We're going to have to play it kind of like the Stoops way. We're going to kick some field goals. We're going to play great defense. We're going to muck this game up.
Yeah, but who likes that?
But wait a second, John. Hopefully, we'll be there in the fourth quarter, and this time maybe he will actually run a play to try to get to the end zone. I don't know. I can't guarantee it, but that's the only way. We are not going to go into Ole Miss next week and air it out against this dynamic offense. And by the way, a pretty good defense.
Much improved from years past.
Before today, and I'm not sure, is Ole Miss playing? Because I've been working today. So before today, they were one of 3 teams that have not given up a touchdown on defense this year.
Mm-hmm.
Ole Miss.
I know.
So again, with their defense, if you think that we're going to go in there and air it out against this team and compete with them, you're just sadly mistaken, because it's not right. I mean, that's not what's going to happen here. We're going to play a game close to the Georgia game.
The Stoops way.
That's the only way we can do it with this team.
Yeah, man. So I'm with you.
Listen, I love Stoops, but that's a boring style of football. I'm sorry. It's
if you can get the win next week, I don't give a crap. I'll take it 9 times out of 10. But you got to get the win. You can't get the loss like last week, 13-12 to Georgia. That don't count.
Yeah, before you go, John, I think you cannot try to out Ole Miss. You can't try to air it out. You can't try to. Yeah,
that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying you have to air it out. I'm just saying you have to throw the ball to beat them, though. You're not going to be able to run the ball all night. You're going to have to
Rachel,
throw the ball.
Absolutely, he made a bad call before halftime last week. 100,000%. That was way worse than the 4th and 8.
Yep,
not even close.
Well, and no, I get what you're saying, John. No, you definitely don't have to air it out. But you have to have balance, and I think we will. But we can't go tempo, is what I'm saying. We can't just. I mean, we got to slow the game down and muck it up. We're gonna have to.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of that. That's just not.
Oh, I'm not either. I don't think it's fun to watch. But Brad,
you must be a fan of seeing us get beat 28-14 or 48-14, because that's what's going to happen if we try to do that.
I do think you have to. I do think you have to slow the game down, win the time of possession in order to beat teams like Ole Miss, because they want to play fast, and you can't play into that. Like, we can't go faster than Ole Miss. We got to slow it down. I'm with Brad on that.
100,000%. I'm telling you, it's the only way it's going to work.
We got an update here. It looks like touchdown Mizzou. So we're tied at 27-27, I think it is. So we might be going into double overtime here. Is that what's going on here? So it's a exciting one there in Columbia.
And by the way,
tied 27-1.
Utah beat Oklahoma State 22-19.
I hear the bad moon rising.
Well, see, here's my thing with Stoops is I love what Stoops has done, but the play calling to me is just dry. There's no excitement. There's no imagination. Like, to me, that's not playing football. That's just, that's.
See, to me, I don't give a shit. I don't really. I don't. How you do it. But you got to get the win.
You got to win.
Last week, it didn't. All what we did last week was every second of that game was erased because we got the L. I don't care that it was 13-12 and we had a shot to beat Georgia. Means nothing. You got to get the W.
Yeah, you got to win. You got to win for sure. You got to know when to be aggressive and when not to be. Missouri kicked the field goal.
Josh says, that's not him calling plays. It's the OC. What are you talking about? Listen, dude, I've watched football a long time. Stoops has his hands in this offense. Whether you want to believe that fairy tale or you don't, he has a hand in this offense. Because that's just how Stoops
has the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to think he does. Yeah.
He did with Eddie Gran. I mean, Eddie Grant was a pretty high octane, and he come here and all he did was run the ball.
And he comes in here and Eddie Grant, even Shannon Dawson, he was doing some great things at West Virginia. And every time they're a high octane offense, he comes here and the offense is not the same. And you can't tell me that ain't Stoops.
John, with that, I agree with that 100%. He's been doing that the entire time. Now, outside of the Neil Brown years, the first 2 or 3, whatever Neil Brown was here, but since then, 100%, I agree with that.
I think you should leave the OC alone and worry about your defense is what I think you should do.
Yeah, well, it's hard not to. It's hard not to think that for sure. But
guys, sorry.
Northern Illinois lost to Buffalo in overtime.
So Notre Dame is not good.
I just think you should let the OC Coleman do what he has to do because every time we bring an OC in, they screw the whole thing out. Like it's a mess.
No, I feel you. But hey, guys, we want to go ahead and take a couple calls. 502-341-1504. Give us a shout. Give us your thoughts on the game and how you feel about Ole Miss. Do you think we have a chance next week? I'm going to be in Oxford next week. I'm excited about that.
We might be doing this remote.
Yeah, we might be
doing this remote next week.
Especially if we win, I'll just have to be on FaceTime and go interview some Ole Miss
Coleman
fans.
Can find a little spot at a bar. We can just do it live right there in Oxford. Come on now.
I think that'd be great. I'm here for it. Listen, I'm absolutely here for it. Yeah, we can get some Kentucky fans live on scene. We're getting a call here. You are on with Talkin Kentucky. Who's this? Hey, what's up, Clyde?
What's up, Clyde?
Not much. Just watching this really, really crazy game between Vandy and Mizzou. And first down Vandy at the 10-yard line. I'm telling you, I think Vandy's about to win this game.
Hey, we're getting live
commentary. Go, Diego, go!
We're getting live commentary from Clyde. If Vandy wins this game, I can't stand Missouri. I don't know what it is. I think it's just I can't stand Eli Drinkwitz, and I would be very happy.
I
if
got
Vandy
kids,
won
y'all.
This game.
I'm sorry.
So.
You mean Adam Webb?
Yeah, he does look like Adam Webb. You're right. You guys think that? You think he looks like Adam Webb? I think he kind of does. Eli Drinkwitz.
Oh boy, Brad's getting ready to have a.
Oh no, he got sacked. No. He just got sacked. Now it's second down.
Okay, what are we? Are we second and what?
Second, and I think it's going to be 15 because I think he just lost 5 yards. No, second and 12. Second and 12.
Second and 12, and it's only a field goal, right? It's 30-27, Missouri.
Yes, and Mizzou can still kick. I mean, Vandy can still kick a field goal, and I mean they're right there. So like, they're going to score either way. I think they're going to score a touchdown or a field goal and tie this game. I mean, it's still going to be. It's probably still going to a third overtime. Oh, is he going for the kill? Nope. No. Oh, they got a flag. They just got a flag on Mizzou. Oh, my
I'm here
goodness.
for the Clyde commentary. I'm loving it. Is this a pass interference on Missouri?
Yes, a pass interference.
Oh, I'm loving it.
We need pictures, Clyde.
Sure. Oh, they're saying offensive pass interference.
Offensive pass interference. You don't see that very often. So it's on Vandy?
That's what they called on Tulane 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's on Betty. No, that's bullshit. No.
Oh man,
that's crazy. Wait. Oh no. I'm scared. No, this is bad. But anyways, no, I think today we it was a feel good win. I mean, you want to you want to get the offense flowing today with today's win, and we did that. And I did say we were going to score in the 40s, and I mean I was right. But I mean,
said it all week.
I mean, I wish we would have held them scoreless, but of course we didn't. They scored that one touchdown, but they missed that field goal.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think overall, this builds confidence. It's just we probably got to see some touchdowns. since 2 games ago. Well, 2.5 games ago. And basically 3.5. Would it be 3.5 games ago now? No, it would be 2 because we scored touchdowns today. But I thought Dan Key played well. I thought, but man, I know it's kind of crazy, but I mean, I'm kind of on the Gavin train, man.
I am too. Yeah.
When he showed me in that one drive, the only drive, he has a beautiful arm, and I love it. He don't hold the ball too long. I like Brock Vandegrift, and like you all were saying, like what? Who said he held the ball too long?
Somebody said he holds onto the ball too long. Yes, I think it was somebody in the comments or something. But no, Claude, do you think we have a chance going into Oxford next week?
Well, I'm not sure. I don't know. And Benny just lost his game, I believe. But I'm not 100% sure, honestly. I mean, like I said, they're a very good team, but they haven't played nobody, and we have. So, in a way, it kind of gives me a little confidence because we did go toe-to-toe with the number 1 team in the country. And I feel like when you go toe-to-toe with the number 1 team in the country, which is now the number 2 team because now Texas is number 1. But at the time, Georgia was number 1. But I feel like if you go to toe with the number 1 team in the country, I feel like in this life you got a chance against anybody. So we'll just see. It should be a close game, but I'll have to think more about it this upcoming week. I don't really have answers right now, but I'll have to see what the spread is and everything and what things will look like this upcoming week to have more of an answer for Thursday.
We'll all talk ourselves into a win by this weekend. But, man, thanks for calling in. What's the Vandy game looking like? So it look like it's going to go to third overtime here?
Unfortunately, no, because when the Vanderbilt quarterback had the ball, it went over his hand, and then it went back like 20 yards. And yeah, I think Vandy just lost this game.
Man, good old Vandy. They always find a way to lose.
Wait. Actually, are they setting up for a field goal?
Hey, do they have an Alex Rayner on their team? Are they going to go for a field goal?
No, but they have this guy that wears number 88.
He missed it.
Oh, they're going for a field goal. Well, what y'all are they on? Heck, I'm confused. I mean, I don't even know where the ball is.
Yeah, he missed it. It's
they're
over.
on the.
Way to go, John.
Are they on? Oh no, they're up there. They're like on the 20. Okay, if he makes it to go.
We can let Clyde watch it on
Oh
Zoom.
my
But,
goodness.
Oh no! He missed it! No!
all right, Clyde. Well, thanks for calling in, man.
All right, have a good one.
Go Cats.
Yes, sir. Go Cats.
Oh, y'all need to stop it.
That was pretty good. Oh man.
So his
TV
was clearly behind. Okay, guys, that's what happened.
Yes,
there.
Clyde's internet is definitely behind there, but that was at least entertaining. But 502-234.
So Missouri survives. Clyde, that
Obviously.
was hilarious, by the way. Just want you to know.
That was pretty good. Yes, that was good. 502-234-1504. Anybody else that wants to call, give us a shout. We'd love to hear from you. Maybe hear you commentate some games. Maybe you'll be ahead of us. Who knows? But
maybe you can tell us what's happening.
Yeah, they have the turntables there. But it looks like we're still scoreless in the Tennessee game. We're about halfway through the first quarter here, so no score in that one. But
I just want to say one thing about that game.
Yeah,
I just want to say one thing. Boomer Sooner.
Oh, listen, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad if Oklahoma won. I just don't think they will. But Boomer what do you guys think? What do you guys think about this Baylor Colorado game tonight? We were talking about that last night. I don't know what I think. Both teams are terrible, and I really don't know what to make of that game. The spread is 1. What are you supposed to do in a
we
game
had it at 1.5 last night on our Pick'em show that you was on with us. So I mean, I picked Colorado last night in this game. It's simply because it's at home. I think that, Baylor's not that great of a team. I think this is a team that Colorado should be able to get a win from at home. So that's where I'm at with it, really.
I'm watching FSU in California. It's 7-3 almost halftime, FSU. It's been downright ugly.
I still think California will come back and win. I really just want FSU to be 0-4. I think that would just be really
I'm gonna tell you something. I've been kind of watching football all day, and is there a team that had so much high preseason expectations than NC State, and they've just folded the tent?
No, I agree with that.
Yeah, it's called Florida State.
Or Florida State. Yeah. Besides them, yeah.
Listen, if you talk about Florida State, and I'm going to be honest with you here because you were just talking about them. So if they were to go to 0-4, I'm going to be honest with you. I would have to go back and look, but that's got to be the worst start ever for a top 10 preseason team. 0-4? Come on.
And they've been favored in every game too, Brad.
Yeah. I mean,
so
even 0-3, you name me the last top 10 preseason team that started a year 0-3.
Miami's in a tussle with South Florida. Almost halftime.
I mean, that's a rivalry game. So, for Miami and South Florida. So, I mean, I can understand that a little bit.
Well, guys,
Cam Rising didn't play today, by the way.
He did.
Oh, he did.
And they still won?
Still won, yeah.
And Brad even sang.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, guys, we'll do a last call for calls here. 502-234-1504. Anybody wants to call, go for it. But if not, we'll start to kind of round it out here. Guys, I'm going to the next Kentucky.
You never asked me about my sit with Ole Miss next week. You going to do Brad?
Oh, okay. Well, go for it. Yeah, Ole Miss.
Oh, no, I'm just giving you a hard time. But I think next week it is just going to be a tall task. Ole Miss puts a lot of pressure on you, especially Jackson Dart and the receivers they got. They got Juice Wells, the transfer from South Carolina. And then they got I think his name's Trey. I don't know if it's maybe Davis. I can't remember. But and they got him and they got the running backs. They were just really, really good. And then they got that front four with Walter Nolan, the transfer from Texas A&M, and that secondary is really, really good. Kentucky, like you said, Brad, Kentucky's probably going to have to play that way. But just because they play that way, I don't like it. I mean, but they're probably going to have to play that way against Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's okay if they get the win.
If you
don't get the win, well,
you're not going to beat Ole Miss playing the third game because they'll just probably wear you out. But
not in their house. I just don't see it.
I'll say this, though. If you lose this game, you're going into the bye week, what, Coleman, 2-3?
2-3, yep.
And you got Vandy coming out of the bye week, and then you go to Florida. If you could at least keep this game respectable, there's a good chance. Say you lose this game, right?
Then you get Auburn after that. So, there's three winnable games.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you lose the Ole Miss game, you beat Vandy, which you're 3-3. You beat Florida 4-3, and then you beat Auburn. You're 5-3 going to Tennessee.
Yep.
And there's a good chance for you because you're most likely you're going to beat Murray State.
Yeah.
Let's be real here. We're going to be.
There's 6. Louisville would be 7. Yeah.
7. So there's a good chance that you go to a bowl game. So.
Josh, you're on Kentucky. Is this Josh Hart?
Yeah. Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up, Josh? What you thinking
What's
today?
Up, Josh? Happy birthday, man.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't really get to watch it. I mean,
happy birthday too, man. We appreciate want to give you that shout out. Yeah.
Appreciate that. No, I didn't really get to watch it because I was out running around a lot and such. It was on the SEC network, so where I'm at staying doesn't have SEC network. They pretty much have Big Ten because it's Michigan country. So that's where I'm at, Michigan. So. But I agree with Brad. I think it would be absolutely ridiculous if they took Brock and benched him. Now, if they want to interject that kid and bring him in for some plays, like 10 or 12 plays a game, then that's fine. But you don't like Brad said, if you take a 5-star quarterback, and he might not be 5 stars now. I don't know what he is. We don't know what's going on. If he had a better offensive line, we might see a better quarterback. But, I mean, I've been watching football since 1990, and I know what I'm talking about. And for them to take him out of the rotation or bench him, it would kill the program.
Yeah.
And it's just absolutely ridiculous that the fans are wanting Brock out because it's not going to happen.
No, I definitely don't.
I mean, we got Cutter, and plus we got Cutter Bowley sitting in line to come in the next year or two, and Brock can come in. And Brock can come back next year. So I just don't get why the fans want Brock gone.
No,
because I mean it's just crazy.
I definitely.
I mean, imagine a year 2 with Brock.
Yeah. And what's the deal with that kid from Ohio State? Is he pulling a Shaden Sharp on us and?
No,
he just came to Kentucky to Pine Ride? Or
no,
what?
I don't think so. I think they feel like they haven't needed him. Well, I mean, he could have played against Georgia, but I felt like they didn't need him today. And I have a feeling.
I heard last week that he was on track to play against Mississippi next week.
Yeah,
so
I feel like they were keeping him out today as a precaution, and he might make his debut next week at Ole Miss. That's kind of my gut feeling.
Man, I wish he. I mean, the way they talked, he was such a beast. And I think if we could get our running game going even a little bit more, maybe we could protect Brock a little bit more. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't really get to watch the thing. I watched the highlights of what you sent me.
Yeah,
and that kid looks good.
No,
But I would. You can't sit a 5-star quarterback. That would devastate our program, even though we're struggling, and we thought we were going to have a better season than what we had. But I don't know what's going on with Kentucky. I don't know why Stoops and OC can do better play calls, and why, for the love of God, do we continue to run jet sweeps? It's not working.
Well, you're with me and Brad on that, yeah, especially against SEC teams. You can't do that. But I'm with you on the run game. If we can get a run game going, that's only going to help us protect Brock a little bit more. So I'm totally with you on that.
I know, and you guys are right. Probably, I mean, John's right. You know, they haven't been right since John Sherman and left. I mean, what do we got to do? I mean, when we have so much damn talent, and we just look like we looked okay today, but we played Ohio. Yeah. And we played good against Georgia, but we look like crap against South Carolina. I mean, when is it going to be our turn? We keep on having every year we come in with high expectations. Oh, we got all this talent. We got all this talent, all this talent, all this talent. And it never pans out. You got two of the fastest wideouts in all of college football, and Barry and Brown and Kentcky, and we can't get in the end zone.
I'm absolutely with you
there,
man.
Jeremy Macklin? Where's Macklin at?
Yeah, where's Macklin today? Macklin, I don't even think had a reception today, if I'm correct. So I don't know about it. But we need to utilize. You're absolutely right, Josh. We need to utilize these threats of Kentcky and Barry and Brown more. Today was a step forward. But if we're going to want to be competitive against some of these SEC teams moving forward, we absolutely got to do that. But you got anything else before we let you go, man?
No, I mean, it was a good day. I'm glad they dominated. We almost shut them out. It was real close to shutting them out, but like you said, Ole Miss is Ole Miss next week, and they're going to be a tough opponent. And Louisville won today, and I mean, they look, apparently they're pretty solid this year. So I don't know. I mean, we just have to execute better. They have to call plays better, and they have to have some gumption about them, especially Stoops and the coordinators. They don't need to, like, oh, we can't do this. I mean, just like Brad said last week, you had, what was it, so many seconds left in the half, and you don't throw it to the end zone? That was just stupid. Stupid. We could have beat Georgia last week.
Yeah, I know. But,
it's just poor execution, and I don't know why. It's like, it's like they're scared to do it. Don't be scared. You have the talent. Do it.
We can't be. We can't be scared, especially with the schedule that we got coming up. But well, happy birthday, man! Really appreciate you calling in on your birthday, and we'll talk to you soon for sure.
All right, guys. Thanks. God bless y'all. Have a good night. Go Cats.
Go Cats, and God bless.
All right.
Before we get out of here, and we'll do a last call for calls, 502-234-1504. Before we get out of here, I'm going to make you a bold prediction, guys. We're going to win one of these. Ole Miss, Tennessee, and Texas. We're going to win one of them. I'm telling you right now, we're going to get one of them.
If we do, if we can win one of those 3 games, then we are right back in the conversation with maybe an 8-4 season.
Yep.
But you've got to steal one of those wins. Now, and I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like that the Ole Miss game is probably the best chance.
Oh, me too. They haven't played anybody yet.
Tennessee and Texas is going to be a pretty tall mountain on the road.
Yep.
Mississippi is too. But if I had to pick out of those 3 games, if you asked me what Kentucky's best chance was going to be before the games start and we see what happens, I would say Ole Miss is probably the best chance.
Let's say you win next week. You're 3-2 going into the bye, and then you're looking at 3 very winnable games. After that, and you can be 6-2 going into Tennessee. You'd be feeling real good. And then you've got that last stretch of 4 games. Tennessee and Texas are obviously tall tests, but Murray and Louisville are very winnable.
The Louisville games at home. Again, you got to win home games. And this, the past 2 weeks, that's what I've been screaming about. And, we won one today that was home, but, it's against a MAC team, so for me, that don't really count.
Well, let's end on this note. Clyde Harris says Mark Pope is about to fix everything. So yeah, he's gonna fix our offensive line. He's gonna fix everything.
I want to say something else real quick. Know what tomorrow? You know what tomorrow is?
Sunday.
Yeah, it's Sunday. But do you really know what tomorrow is?
No, I don't. No.
It's the first
day of fall.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's the first day of fall.
You guys like fall? It's my favorite season.
My favorite season.
Oh, easily. Yeah, definitely.
I like when it's cold and there's 8 or 9 inches of snow on the ground.
Oh, well, don't come to Louisiana. We don't have that down here.
No, John. No, that's not even right. No.
I can't get away from you. What do I got to do to get away from you?
You want to fuck around. I don't know.
I'm still laughing over the Clyde thing. I'm like, oh no.
That was definitely a highlight of the day for sure. But
classic Talkin Kentucky moment right there.
Yeah, that's what that was.
It is. But well, hey guys, we appreciate you watching. Go follow us on all the things Talkin Kentucky. Of course, we're on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, all the things, YouTube, and go follow College SportsCast. These guys do.
You need to get on TikTok.
That's what the kids tell me. I need to get on TikTok, but I don't know about that.
That's what the kids tell you.
That's what the kids tell you.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
Wait a second. You're not that old, Coleman. You're not that old, okay?
That's why it's funny. Yeah, I know. That's why it's good. But I don't want China to have my information. If I get on TikTok, aren't they going to steal all my? They probably already have it anyway. So
they're watching you right now.
Yeah, they're watching the show. Yeah, China's in the chat right now.
Okay.
But they're especially watching. They're actually watching Brad because
Brad's on America's Most Wanted list. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, on that note, guys, thanks for watching.
Sorry.
Go follow us. Go follow us.
Brad's like, sorry.
Go follow us on all the things. And we'll see you back here in some capacity next Saturday for post-game show, even though I'll be in Oxford. And watch these guys do a show every Tuesday and Friday night. Isn't that right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yep.
every Tuesday and Friday night.
SportsCast, check us out. Tuesday is kind of a just college football show. We do hot topics, debates. Friday is our game day pick'em show. We pick 12 of the week's best games.
I can't wait till next Friday when John Roberts shows back up.
Oh yeah,
that's gonna be a fun show.
I'll tell you what. Seriously, I know that y'all gonna give me a hard time about Auburn, but Hugh Freeze is in trouble down there. I feel like he's in trouble down there
already. Yeah, no, I know.
Honestly, and I'm not I'm not just blowing smoke here. I really feel like, even though he is doing the recruiting that he's doing, Auburn, they are not going to be okay with losing back-to-back weeks at home to the likes of California and Arkansas. I'm sorry.
They got Oklahoma coming next week, so.
Well, guys,
that's tough, man.
I know.
And Billy Napier got a win today, an SEC win. Did y'all know that? We didn't even talk about it.
It was against Mississippi State, though. I don't feel like it counts.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait till I tell the band group. You said that.
I'm just saying.
I'm just kidding, Coleman. You was just there the other day, so you better.
I was.
P's, man.
I know it. Well, guys, thanks again
for 4 turnovers last week against California, Clyde. I'm pretty sure, and 5 today. That's an insane amount of turnovers in 2 weeks. Hello,
guys. Thanks for checking us out. We really appreciate it. And check these guys out on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You can check out my show, Talking Kentucky. Tuesdays and Fridays. You can check out my show, Talking Kentucky, on Thursdays, and then of course our post game shows on Saturdays. So,
go Cats! And one more thing, Boomer Sooner.
Go Cats.
Yeah, I'm not going to say Boomer Sooner. I'm just going to go Cats. So, all right, see y'all later.
We're going.
Go Cats.